Morning, guys.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning, Richard.
Morning.
Since you didn't say it the first time, fuck you. Sorry. One of the things that I find so interesting is that you can go give a person 500 pounds of pure gold, and they'll go, too heavy. I'd have to carry it. I'd have to work. I'd have to figure out a way or somebody to sell it to us so I can get money out of it. That's too much effort. I don't want to do that. Well, what we just handed out to you is some pure gold. Unfortunately, it's not easy. It's not simple. Okay, but if you follow the steps, practice it 5 to 10 to 15 times like we're going to do today, you'll actually go, oh, it makes sense. I don't have to live on poverty row. I don't have to be a dumb fuck. I don't have to do what anybody in the fucking world tells me to do. Because you can now take your own self-responsibility and go wherever you want to on the fucking planet with any direction you want to go. I don't care if somebody else thinks it's good or bad or evil or godly. It doesn't fucking matter. You now can go wherever you want to go. Does that make sense? You now have all the choices yourself. Now there's something about creating your own future that most people don't really realize. You create your own future. Not mommy, not daddy, not the government. No one, not me. You know, I don't know what you guys want to do. I know what I want to do. And I do it. It's pretty simple, isn't it? I mean, how can you get even more simpler than that? I don't know. The first thing about creating your own future is you have to be self-reliant. You have to be self-reliant. If you're not self-reliant, you won't do anything. If you're not self-motivated, you won't do anything. If you don't have any ideas, you won't do anything. By the way, I don't understand how anybody can work for another asshole. I mean, we're all assholes. If we're not, you're faking it. Okay? Well, come on. You faking it? You go in there and you kiss their ass because they're paying you, right? Right? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Dumb fuck. I'm kissing his ass because he's paying me. Dumb fuck. Yes, sir. He's going, what are they talking about? See, because he doesn't work for people. He develops superior products. I mean, this man had a brain fart years ago. It's so funny. He had a brain fart. And he was looking at car stereos, and he was looking at what one's, you know, the boom box, what one is the loudest gets first place. And he goes, I can do that. Come up here. Tell them about how you got first place. And it launched his career.
Well, when I came to Australia, I didn't know anything about car stereo, and all the young kids, they were pumping the stereos. So
All the Yankees were pumping the stereos.
Richard, turn the microphone facing here. And yeah, I made a group of friends within the industry, so to me it was hobby, it was fun. And everyone knew everything, everyone knew how to build the loudest cars, everyone got the best equipment. So I did test everything what they told me. So because I have workshop, I have facilities, I got enough money to get or to borrow equipment because I'm busy business, so people can lend me, I can test and then give them back. So I figured out myself what does work, what doesn't work. And within 2 months, I built a car which won the first prize. And a couple weeks later, I went to Australian national competition, and I broke the world record with one single subwoofer. And I even didn't know I did that. So friends told me later that it's such an interest. I said, No one ever did that. So then I was first ever Australian who went to America, present Australia in a World Finals in 1999.
That's pretty cool. Hey, I think it needs a hand for that. Now, notice, he didn't do anything new. He went and researched people who had knowledge on loudness in stereos. And he took all the stuff that they taught him, and he went out and goes, let me experiment and see. He tested it and put together his own mix. Wonder who's ever done something like that before. I don't know. Lily, get it yet? Shit, she didn't get it. Oh, God. She's taking notes so she doesn't get anything. She just writes it all down. What doesn't get on the paper doesn't get in her brain. Isn't that cool? Uh-huh. Well, no, it's a note-taking problem. It's not bad. It's a way to learn how to do it right. So you still take notes, but if you go soft focus when you take notes, then you're still aware of what's going on out here with the auditories, with the kinesthetics, and you can actually go, pause, that was good, then take a note up here for that thing and come back down here and do the rest of the stuff. And it gets you off the linear and gets you more into the mind map stuff. Oh, mind mapping? That's what? Oh, soft focus. Oh, whole brain thinking. Oh, my God. It's another form of doing what? Everything we taught you last night. Yeah, everything we taught you last night. Wow. You mean they have other people that have figured this stuff out? Nah, I'm the only one. Now, talking about last night, I gave you guys a drill. Let's talk about the drill. We'll get you up first.
Well, he asked us to listen to the CD on open.
I like your t-shirt, but it needs to be gold on black. But besides that, it's a great t-shirt. Fucking swords, head flying off. I mean, oh my God, I love it. Go ahead.
The open space CD that you asked us to listen to and go to level at. I finished it up finally about 1:30 a.m. going through it, but I mean it just it's like it just opens and expands everything. I mean, it starts within. It turns like an internal experience and expands it to an external experience, and kind of at the same time. It's kind of a simultaneous event once you get into the CD. And
Did you ever disappear? I disappeared several times.
Yeah.
I went, oh, where was I? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I would say, yeah. I don't know. There was times I was like lost or disappeared, and then I had
Yeah,
to
I was
come
not
back.
there. I was somewhere in the space. Then I went, where am I? Oh, here I am. Uh-huh. Oh, where's my body? Oh, there it is. My God, it's a piece of meat, and it's heavy. Now, how do you feel?
This morning I feel good, really
Yeah.
good.
Just listening to that thing like 3 to 5 times will make most of the tensions that you have in your body for any type of autoimmune disease sort of dissipate by just listening to it.
Yeah, I mean, about the first 10 minutes or so, I mean, it's almost like I could feel tension
Oh,
just in my whole body.
I started feeling worms crawling up my neck, and itchy, and I'm going, I'm not tense. Yeah, you bet. I can't be tense. I know how to relax. I teach alpha brainwave. I can't be tense. Twitch. So it might really feel uncomfortable for those that are really wood elements. Okay? Good, good. Thank you. Everybody got to listen to it? Everybody got to play through? Good, good. Just me, Jess? Good, good. A little. I don't know what that means. Means Cinta's hungry.
Well, I noticed differences in myself between the first one and the second one.
Oh, there's more than one?
One in the introduction.
By the way, I'm a great trance subject, and I go into trance just like that, yeah. But, go ahead.
Yeah, I noticed on the first one, my wide focus was there, and I was able to go into that real well, so well that I all of a sudden, I go, whoop, I was asleep, and then, oh, there we go, and then kind of get back into it. And
You
then
see why I have to make up my own course now? Because this uses deeper levels on a much more, God, it's completely whole brain hooking up to the non-space. I mean, I just went, wow, this is the tool I was looking for. It's been out there for 45, 50 years. No one's ever taken it out of therapy. There's only one guy who uses it. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, and then when I got to the second one, I had noticed that it was much more difficult for me, and I didn't think I was getting anything out of it. But in spite of that, I was doing the whole thing with my eyes closed.
Yeah. I didn't think I was getting anything out of it.
But in spite of that,
I guess I was, in spite of that.
when it was all done and I opened my eyes and turned the lights back on, I could see everything very clearly in my whole field of vision, and it was like when you watch a TV in high definition, you go, oh, I didn't even know it was possible to see things that much more clearly.
I couldn't
Everything
tell the
was.
difference between high definition and normal television when I first started watching it. I couldn't see the difference. My visual capabilities were not that good. Now I can. I can go, oh, and the difference is soft focus. And every day when I drive down to work or wherever I go, when I don't do any soft focus in the house because it's all the get ready shit, before you leave, shit, shower, shave, whatever you're gonna do. Then you hit the road and I'll notice everything's blurry. And I'll go, oh. And sometimes I'll go, even though everything's blurry, I totally accept and appreciate myself. And then I'll loosen up here. And then I'll go, oh, nice colors. And then I'll notice I can focus again. I mean, it's just like that. Of course, it won't work for you. Thank you. Next one.
Okay, I noticed this morning from doing it that following through that process, I started to notice like certain parts of my body as I start to, I would say, narrow down like attention to certain places that there was like a tingling sensation, but not the fine vibration kind of thing. It was more like dense, like
Yeah, like I
numbness.
said, I thought I was a hunk of meat I wasn't really in control of when I first came out of level. That makes sense. I felt really solid and dense, and then I rehooked up all the neural patterns and put the energy back in the body. I was okay, but there was that thing I'm going, is that an arm down there? Because it wasn't hooked up because I was into the space. I wasn't into the physical body. Edgar K.C., when he did his reading of the Akashic Record, would lay on his back, put his hands over his solar plexus like this, then he would exit through the front of his body and actually leave his body so his antenna could go wherever it wanted to go without the dense body stopping it. And if you ran your hand over his body like this, he would almost die because you were cutting his connection to the physical body. I wonder if this is similar to that. Well, next time you do it, we'll run our hands over. And if you die, we can't get caught. Because no one believes in that. I don't know, he just died. I went over to touch him and he went twitched and he died.
Mickey works.
But go ahead.
But periodically through the process, I would notice different areas of my body seem more, like the closest word I would say would be numbness, but it's not numb in the sense that you can't feel anything, but that it's like dense.
I consider the difference between eating a steak and eating something like catfish. Does it make sense? Because a steak is thick and solid.
Yeah.
Catfish sort of melts in your mouth. If it's, say, like blackened catfish, it's not really solid. And so, to me, it seems better for the physical body versus the big hunk of meat that, like, a steak or something. I still like 2 or 3 bites of steak, but that's about it. I don't need any more steak. But I'll eat a piece of meat about that big. Of course, I used to eat a steak that big. Probably some of the feces are still in me, because it sticks to your intestinal colon, and then 25 years later.
And that after going through the process and noticing those different areas, definitely in the hands, numbness. And what had occurred to me when going through this was that this was a familiar feeling because I had started noticing it periodically when I would go to sleep, And as I'm waking up, kind of coming from deep sleep into that, I guess call it alpha, where you're kind of aware of the density change in the room when I'm like waking up. And I would notice that I would have my hands either like over like this, and I would feel like my hands like almost burning, but like real like like when you fall asleep and your hand falls asleep. It's a tingling, but it's different because when your hand falls asleep, you can't move it, but it's that same kind of tingling sensation. And I would notice that when I'm like up and wide awake, within 2 to 3 seconds, that sensation's gone.
Okay, now the thing about all this is people can get addicted to just the state because it removes them from having to think or do or take self-responsibility, and you zone out, you just feel good with a lot of people. Does that make sense? Like the reason people take drugs, like the reason people go down at the bar and spend 5 hours there a night. Okay, they're not going there because they want to get drunk, they're going there because they want to lose consciousness of the shit that's fucking them up. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's a whole different reason. It's an away from process. So if you use this as an away from process, you'll probably get caught in one of the loops of it. We want you to go way past that. The next way is to listen to these tapes with your eyes open and do everything with your eyes open. Then I would suggest, not driving a car, but I would probably do that too, but I would suggest that you do a Walkman and you go down the road and you walk down the road doing the same thing, open focus, as you walk down the road. Learning how to do it totally alert and awake. Got it? And that'll take you into the trance state, and you will notice colors and vibrations and clarity and different types of focuses that you have never seen before. You will see auras, you will see chakras, you will pick up their emotional content when you talk to them instantly. All sorts of stuff that you don't think is possible because you can't do it. Will suddenly go, fuck, I did it. I guess it is possible. Doc's not that crazy after all. Good, thank you. Next one, Boyd.
Well, since I don't have Walkman with me, I did a remote viewing.
Okay, sit down. Next one. You can't tell us about the tape, you didn't do it. Beat him over the head. See, Doc? We'll have to loan you a Walkman today. Got it? I have CDs here you can borrow. CD players. Okay?
Quick question.
I
On
don't
that
like process.
process of the listening with eyes closed, listening with eyes, your eyes open, listening while you're walking, like how many times would you say would you do it before you go to each step?
I'm going to hallucinate here. The answer that seems good to me is the same one that Jose Silva taught for going to century drill, which is 10 hours.
10 hours.
10 hours, okay? And the reason I say 10 hours is because that's how long it took him to train adults to be able to do it consciously. Does that make sense? So it's the same type of process, just using a different type of hypnosis. Even in the Jose Silva, they said that after 10 hours you should be able to do remote viewing with deep focusing. Now, again, most of the people when they do Silva, they'll tense up the forehead instead of relaxing the forehead. What are the results? They're fucked. Why? Because they're not in alpha. When you tense up the forehead, you're in beta. It's like you're focusing on a math problem, okay? But focus on a math problem when your forehead is relaxed, and notice how the math problem is more easily solved. Okay, good. Now, what'd you learn?
So, 2 things I learned that I can remember was it felt like my arms weren't there, and part of my
Now,
body.
he's had the Silva training. He's had the Kahuna ESP mind training. What was the difference between when you felt like they weren't there this time and then before?
Well, when I would go into put my mind where the distance was, it was like going inside myself and then seeing my eyes out here and being inside myself, and then being within that space. So that was different. It